hope you guys are all okay and all good. Welcome to another video. My name is George. For those of you who don't know, feel free to subscribe down below if you're not already. And this is my LGBTQ+ History Month TBR pile. I try not to do TBRs as much as I can. I'll usually write down in my journal the kind of things that I want to be reading in a particular month, but I don't like to do TBRs in case, one, I don't like a book that I read in that month, or two, I don't complete it because then I feel like a failure. But because it is LGBTQ+ History Month in the UK, I know it's Black History Month in the US, but in the UK it's LGBTQ+ History Month, I picked a bunch of queer books that I really wanted to read in the month of February, and now I'm gonna tell you all about them. There are two books in this list that are hangovers from my end of the year TBR that I still haven't got to, which is terrible behaviour because I read books last month that were not on my end of year TBR. So I've sort of like cheated. And it's not that I don't want to read these books. I will explain the reasons I've not read these books when I get to these books. I'll do these ones first. It just makes sense to do these ones first. Let me just move my pile around. So the first of these books is The Times I Knew I Was Gay by Eleanor. Now, this is a graphic novel memoir about Eleanor coming to terms with their sexuality and who they are. It sounded absolutely gorgeous and well up my street. It was recommended to me by Guy, someone who works at Waterstones in Kingston. He said it was absolutely wonderful. I, of course, believed him. I'm a sucker for a good Waterstones bookseller recommend. You catch me in a corner, you recommend me a book, I'm probably going to buy it. Also, a quote from Alice Oseman on the front. So, you know, it's kind of got a seal of approval as well. Anyhow, the reason I've not read this yet is because Guy said to me that you need to read this in one sitting. You kind of need to, it's not very long. It's a graphic novel. But he told me that you should sit down and be prepared to read it all in one sitting because you're going to want to. You're going to want to absorb it all like that. And the reason I've not done it is because I've not had like a pocket of time that is long enough that I think I could do that. So until I have that, I've sort of been holding off on reading this, which makes me feel like a bad person and makes me feel like I should have read it sooner. But that's just the situation we're in, kids. I got told something and I've taken it to heart. So I'm going to try and read it this month. I will put aside like a 2-hour slot of time, which I know I do have, but I will put aside some time and I will actually do it. I promise. I really do want to read it. I want to read things that I'm recommended. I really do. The next one of those books is Surrender Your Sons by Adam Sass. Again, this is on my end of the year TBR. This is the story of a boy called Connor who gets sent to a conversion therapy camp, and it's about him befriending the kids there, breaking out, and figuring out a way to bring this camp down. The reason I have not read this yet is because everything that I've heard about this book has told me that it's a little bit scary and I don't do well with fear. But I have been reading a lot of crime thrillers lately that are quite gruesome. So I'm hoping that that has mentally prepared me for this. And also people keep telling me to read it. And now Adam has commented on a post where I talked about like my TBR pile. And I feel like I need to read it quicker because I've said that I'm going to. So on my list, I did read the first chapter of it. And it was another one of those moments like with I Wish You Were the Best by Mason Diva, which I've still not read, where it's like, oh no, this book is going to hurt me something rotten. And then I stopped because of that reason. So that's the reason I've not read this yet. But I'm going to get to it this month. I promise I'm going to get to it this month. Okay. Guilt happened. Now let's move on to the other books. The first book that I wanted to read in February, I've actually already read it because I read it really fast because I could not put it down, and that was The Strangeworlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lapinski. This has been on my shelf for 6 months or so. I bought this a little while after it came out. L.D. Lapinski is a dear friend. This is a middle grade novel. Oh, and the sequel is on my most anticipated reviews of 2021. So I needed to read this before the sequel came out in April. This is L.D. Lapinski's debut middle grade novel. It is the story of a character called Flick, who, after moving home, finds the Strangeworlds travel agency in her town and meets Jonathan Mercator and finds out that she can see magic. She can see schisms in the multiverse and that you can travel to these different multiverse worlds through these suitcases, and she goes on an adventure and it's absolutely bloody amazing. I loved it so much. I'm going to talk about it more in my end of the year TBR, in my like end of the month wrap up thing, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's just an absolutely fantastic adventure story. I absolutely loved it. Head over heels. Can't wait for the second one. It's so brilliant. It's the real deal and I just loved it. So much. It's so good. Get into it. I can actually hear Steph like screaming at the screen right now because I'm talking about this book, because I know that Steph loves this book a lot. So Steph, just know that you're part of the reason that I read it sooner rather than later. The next book that I want to read this month is Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow by Benjamin Dean. I've already started reading this one and this was again on my most anticipated reads of 2021. It is Ben's debut novel. It is the Waterstones Children's Book of the Month. Legendary. And it is the story of a boy called Archie Albright, whose mum and dad are having troubles at the moment. They kind of hate each other, and all he wants is for them to be happy again. So he's going, from what I can tell, he's going to try and fix that. But he thinks he's messed it all up at the beginning of the book anyway. I'm intrigued to see where this is going. So far, I'm like 3 chapters in, and it is so sweet. It's so fun. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a gorgeous little middle grade so far, and I can't wait. And also this cover, double cover. Ooh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This was sent to me, by the way. This was sent to me by Simon & Schuster. I forgot who published it for a second. They've not asked me to talk about it. They've not asked me to read it, but I am. The next book that I want to read in February is Love is for Losers by Wibke Brueggemann. I have had this again on my shelf for ages. This was meant to come out last year, so I have a proof of it up there, but they sent me a finished copy, which is just beautiful. I love this. I love this little cat. I love him so much. And in my head, I already sort of had like a books as drag looks thing in my head where I do the cat as the eyebrow. I don't know how I would do that, but I kind of want to do it. Anyway, this is the story of a girl called Phoebe Davis who thinks love is for losers. She thinks it's the worst thing ever and she wants no part of it until she meets Emma. And then suddenly she doesn't quite know what to think. From what I've been told, this is absolutely hysterically funny. I've had it on recommendations, not only from people that work at Pam Macmillan, but also from other bloggers that I know and other book people that I know and reader people that I know. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. So yay! The next book that I want to read is How It All Blew Up by Arvin Ahmadi. I bought this. Did I buy this? Or did this get... No, I bought this. Did I buy this? I bought this from Gaze the Word in my little trip that I went on before Christmas. I'd heard really great things about it without knowing huge amounts about the book. I've been wanting to read it for quite some time, ever since I first heard about it. So that's why I picked up my copy from Gaze the Word, and it feels like the perfect kind of thing to be reading during LGBTQ+ History Month. It is the story of 18-year-old Amir Azadi. Always knew coming out to his Muslim family would be messy. He just didn't think it would end in an airport interrogation room, but when faced with a failed relationship and blackmail, running away to Rome is his only option, right? Soon, late nights with his new friends and dates in the Sistine Chapel start to feel like second nature until his old life comes knocking on his door. Now Amir has to tell the truth to a US customs officer and his family or risk losing who he truly is. It sounds gorgeous and right up my street and just like a really fun European romp. So yay! The next book on this list is another one that I bought from Gaze the Word, which is Cemetery Boys. Again, I don't know huge amounts about this book. It's just one of these books that has just had like so much hype and so much love all over the internet. When I posted a picture of this on my Instagram page, I actually had people in my DMs saying, you need to read this and you need to read this ASAP. I think it was Charlie in a book, my friend Charlie Morris, who said that they have never shipped 2 characters so hard. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. It sounds great. So shipping characters, perfect. And the last book that I want to read in February is The House of Impossible Beauties by Yosef Cassara. I, again, picked this up at Gaze the Word. Apparently, I just want to read all the things that I bought at Gaze the Word last month. But this is the fictionalized account of the House of Extravaganza in the 1980s in the New York Harlem ball scene. So Paris is burning, Pose, that kind of vibe, but in a book. I've heard incredible things about it. I bought it from Gaze the Word because it was one that I'd seen in hardback, but the hardback was expensive and I couldn't afford it at the time. But I saw the paperback and was like, I forgot I wanted to read that, so I bought it and I'm going to try and read it. So this, I've already like, it's a weird thing. I posted the books that I bought from Gaze the Word and someone who who follows me, Becky, bought it and said and read it and absolutely loved it and was like, thank you for the recommendation. And I was like, I've not even read it, but I'm really glad you enjoyed it. So I think I'm really going to like it. So this too. So these are the books that I'm planning to read in February. This is a lot of books to read in the shortest month of the year. I know that some people's TBRs are way higher than this, but we've got graphic novel memoir about someone coming out. We've got gay conversion therapy. This is written by a non-binary author. We've got a gay author and there's some gay themes in this as well. We have lesbians in this. We have gays in this, and we've got so much queerness in the House of Impossible Beauties. I don't think I can even like list it all off. But I'm really looking forward to reading all of these. I wanted to make it as queer as possible and as diverse as I possibly could. So I've tried to kind of have as many things in there as I possibly can. So yeah, these are the books that I'm planning to read in LGBTQ+ History Month. Please let me know in the comments below what you are planning on reading in this lovely gay little month that we're having. But that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did and you made it this far in the video, feel free to leave the book stack emoji. I know I keep asking for that one, but it feels, actually no, don't leave the book stack. Let's think of something else. Let's think of something else that you can leave here. There's a little sparkle emoji. Leave the little sparkle emoji if you made it this far in the video, and I will love you forever. Let me know what you're going to be reading in February, whatever it may be. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love each and every one of your faces, and I'll speak to you as soon as I possibly can. Bye!